Welcome, everyone, to Your Body as a Master Guide for Your Life. Let's take a deep breath together. My name is Christine, and I'm going to be your guide tonight. And part of my job as your guide is to listen to you at every level. So feel free, if you're on the phone line and you have a question or a comment, to bring that forward, or if you're on the live stream tuned in there, to put that into the chat. You're welcome to participate. Always the more that you bring to our time together, the more you're able to receive, because when you bring your own intention and commitment, you're opening up your own space of receiving and of enlivening whatever it is that you are ready to know and to be in this eternal now moment. So hooray for that. And again, feel free to interact. It's wonderful that you're all here. So this is the third in the Master Guide series of the free live streams, and it's about the body. And I have spent a lot of time this last week looking at things around the body, and some of the stuff we're going to cover tonight. It'll actually be whatever comes up as we are together. One of the main things that I would love to open up is a soft, nurturing space for us to be with whatever is happening in our lives physically, as the divine embodiment that we are. And when I say divine, that may mean whatever it means to you. For me, that means the all that is, the universe, complete energy. Oh, that's awesome. Somebody's having their bathroom. You may want to mute your phone. That was really great. The divine to me is the source where everything creates from. And that's actually just, for me, a place of pure energy. Now, as we're in this tonight, that's, like I said, that's one of my first and most heartfelt hopes for us. There will be several things going on. One is that I will be talking, and there will be information for your mind. The mind loves to know what's going on, and it loves to get the answers, and it loves to figure out the way. And that's all great and important. And much more powerful than that, and beyond whatever our mind might be able to comprehend, is the space of presence, which we might call energy, that opens up insights and awareness and revelation beyond what we can grasp with our mind. Many times our minds will follow that and will come along after and go, oh, wow, check that out and look at that and So know that we're going to be working all these levels and more, so that there's information for the mind and there's energy and presence for your body, your emotional field, and your mind, as well as the total being that you are, which actually all those things are one thing. They're not a separate thing to me. So this is the way we'll be with each other tonight. And that makes it quite powerful, and also opens up things that we didn't know might be possible. So first question for you. Would you be willing to experience something through the time of our live stream together that perhaps you've never experienced before? Take a nice deep breath. Would you be willing to suspend for a moment your need to understand what's happening and simply be present with whatever that is? Beautiful, nice deep breath. Because so often, when our primary goal is to understand, so particularly so that we can fix something, that actually becomes quite an inhibitor. The need to understand, in order to wield that understanding as a means of change, at its essence is resistance. It shouldn't be this way. It needs to be this way. How do I get there? If I figure it out, I can get from here to here. Now, I have a question for you. If you were to walk into a room and whoever was in that room said, the first thing they said to you was, you know, I got to figure out how to get rid of you, get you out of here, how would you feel? Not particularly welcome, not loved, not seen, valued, anything. Okay, so it's like that for us with whatever's going on with us in our bodies, whether it's our judgment of our bodies, whether it's pain that we're having in our bodies, disease, or maybe even just a kind of nagging sense that we're not getting it, that we really know that we're just this infinite, powerful huge divine presence, and why doesn't it feel like that? What's with this other stuff? All those things are resistance. All of those things are a no to something in your life. Energy 101, Consciousness 101, really important concept for our mind to get. Resistance is painful, way more painful than the thing that we are experiencing. So, how do I know this? Firsthand experience, of course, and then through the course of working literally with thousands of people and seeing them encounter the same thing. When we resist something, it hurts because resistance is a fixing in our system. And that creates a stuckness and a lack of flow, and everything about life and energy and all that we are is meant to flow. Now, many of us already get this completely. We completely get this with our minds, don't we? Yeah, we get it. We're like, oh, and maybe for some of us it's a brand new concept. What? I thought the whole like being fired up to change something was the way to change something. Well, sure, there's all kinds of inspired action. However, resistance to something, which includes a judgment about it being wrong, is actually going to perpetuate the thing. We may not know that, or we may know it really well with our minds. Doesn't matter either way. Let's look at and now move into a softening so that we can move beyond a mental understanding of this concept. So let me ask you this question. When you finally understand about something, say an emotional thing, like maybe why a partner broke up with you, or why, like maybe you understand somebody's personality and why they say a hurtful thing to you, and you understand it, does that actually impact your emotional experience of it? Does it shift what it's like for you just because you understand it? No. Understanding is understanding. It's actually not change in how we feel or in our consciousness. It's understanding, and understanding is great. We love understanding. So like I said, I'll be giving information tonight about the consciousness around the body, but we're going to open up into an awareness, which is actually presence, that shifts the energy so that we can have a different experience. And I'm going to say that again. Understanding something does not make it a different experience. Okay. So glad you all are here. Welcome everybody on the phone lines, on the live stream. It's awesome that you're here. We're here to completely transform our relationships with our bodies, with a judgment of our bodies, with the pain and the diseases that we experience, and with our lack of embodiment or awareness of the embodiment. Good distinction of the tremendous, brilliant presence that we are. Okay, great. Oh man, let's take a nice deep breath again together. Beautiful. So right now I'm going to tap into all of you and see where it is we want to go next. So the first thing that comes forward is, and this may be a little, well, we'll just see. I won't set it up. I'm going to do a deep seeing of the beauty that you are, of the perfection that you are, of the absolute complete wholeness that you are, exactly as you are right now. All right? Now, in doing this, and this will be our first energetic activation, so a little bit of information around this, again, for your mind. So the reason this is here, where we're headed, is because I tuned into all of us. I can see and feel all the judgments that we feel around our bodies, our experience of life, our discomforts, our pains, the judgment that we have of the way that we look, the judgment we have of the way that we feel, or of how we treat our bodies, what we do for them or don't do, what we feed them or don't feed them. Okay, yeah, that field. Right? There's like so much. Hello, amazing Tony Angel. Love to see you. So good, glad you're here. So we're going to move into the space of divine seeing, and I'm going to basically be here as a mirror for that for you. So for this part of the exercise, there is something that is asked of you, which is for you to bring forward what you would consider, if you're willing, this is, of course, totally up to you, the part of you that you feel of your body. Like, and it may be a body part, or it may be an aspect, something going on. It could be a disease or a pain, or it could be just simply your frustration with being in a physical form, the limitation, the perceived limitation of that. I'd like for you to bring that forward in your awareness. What is it you don't like? What is it you don't like? What is it you would like to be different? What is it that causes you discomfort or pain? What is it that you're so tired of? See, again, thanks guys for giving me all this information. What is it you're so tired of? What is it, the voice inside your head with the one thing or 12 things that you just pick on and pick on and pick on? Okay, you got it, right? And for that, I'm simply going to do some sound for you first, and then we'll talk a little more. So the sound is really an energetic transmission, and the crystal bowls have amazing alchemies in them. And I'll be using my voice as well. And again, just bring this forward. What it is about your body that you really are tired of, don't like, wish would be different. And this will be a space of divine seeing of the perfection that you are that's behind all of those perceptions. All right, here we go. And just enjoy. Actually, if none of that makes any sense, that's great too. Really the only thing needed is that you're just here and present. And here we go. And let it open a little farther, meaning the thing you really don't like, that you're really tired of, that's been difficult. Just bring it forward right now. Just like a big breath, and you just go, okay. No need for it to be different right now. Just bring it forward to be seen, met with presence of unconditional love. To be met with, you're welcome here. You're welcome here. Here. Oh, buddy. If you're hurting, if I've told you you the space of judgment. And it always feels good there. Nice. Okay, a question for you. Let's talk a little bit about judgment. We know a lot about it. We know it doesn't work, don't we? We know it's not something we all sign up and say, I hope, I'm going to start out today and see if I can judge a little bit more of myself and other people. I want to see how judgmental I can be. This isn't generally how we go, is it? And yet we do it, don't we? Yeah, we do. So let's soften there. We've judged our bodies. Now let's ask our body, hey body, how does it feel when I judge you? How do you feel? Yeah. That's a space where we may want to say, gosh, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that I took on a voice toward you that I learned that was never mine. When you were a baby and you were born and you came out in your beautiful, perfect, tiny little body, were you judging yourself for being hungry or going to the bathroom? Did you even know what judgment was? No. And then at some point, your sweet, beautiful, tiny little self, did you start becoming aware of judgment, of people's judgments of you? For whatever, for your behavior, for something you did or didn't do, or the way that you looked, or the way that you made them feel, all kinds of things, and it all comes in. So we've learned it, and then we visit it on ourselves, and it becomes our own, what we think of as our own internal voice, but you know what? It's never been your voice. So let me tell you this again. Every time you've judged a part of your body, every time you have judged the way that you look, that's actually never been you. Feels like your voice in your head, but it's actually never been you. Anytime that you have judged the pain that you feel, why isn't my life different? Why, if I knew the right thing, if I somehow had an embodiment of the information of consciousness that I know is true, I wouldn't feel this way. I wouldn't have this disease if I was really being the truth of what I am. That voice has never been yours. Who and what we truly are in this tremendous, beautiful heart space that we just opened up into together can't even find judgment or know what it is. It's actually more like a program that's running in the air. It's everywhere. And we pick up on it like radio waves, like the way that your phone is going to catch the Wi-Fi signal or the whatever that is, 4G, 5G, whatever the thing is, and it's going to bring it in and it's going to be right there with you. Well, we all develop a finely tuned antenna to judgment very early on. And so it's just always running. It's always live. We don't ever go into airplane mode on judgment. We don't ever go, actually, I'm just turning off where that signal can't find me. But imagine if we did. Imagine if you did. Imagine if your own voice of inner judgment was simply from this antenna tuned into all the signals that are out there. They're everywhere in the field. Look around how much judgment there is. And feel and hear your body again, what it's like for your body when you judge it, for what size it is, for how much pain it has. It's excruciating. Is it any wonder that it hurts? So what if we were together able to turn off our receptivity to the judgment signal that's everywhere around us? How do we do that, you may ask? Let's do it together right now. This is what we're here for. We're here to find a new and different way. And we're going to be with judgment, we're going to be with stress, and we're also going to be with loving, with everything being here to serve us and opening into a real empowerment through what's actually here in our lives instead of it being our problem. So these are all the places we're going to be going together. So just wanted to let you know that. So let's open up into how do we turn off the antenna. First thing we do is we recognize it. Like so many things, awareness is a huge key. We go, oh, there's judgment in my head. And would you be willing to allow that it's never been your voice, even though it feels very much like your voice now? What if it's never been your voice? Your judgment of your body, your judgment of your health conditions, your judgment of your own life, how it's reflecting your consciousness. This goes for everything. Like, well, if I were somehow embodying the consciousness I am, the divinity, the truth, the light, the love, I wouldn't actually have any of these problems. I wouldn't have a relationship problem or a body problem or a health problem or financial issues. And you get that myth? Okay, and body's a big one. Who made that rule? So the first thing we do is we recognize when judgment's going on. We just go, oh, there it is. Let's take a look at it again because I want you guys to really recognize the stream of it. It's kind of sneaky and it really still feels like it's true to you. And you're like, no, 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 but it's true. I know that it's true that this part of me is not right, or I know that it's true that I'm not pretty, or that I'm not healthy enough, or whatever, and all the judgments that come in. Okay, so there's a stubbornness about that because we feel like if we were to just judge ourselves hard enough, we would be improved. We would be better. We would quit doing the thing that we think is not good for us. We would make healthy choices. We would do something that would improve our whatever appearance or our perceptions of our bodies. If we just judge ourselves enough, we'll get better. And next question, has judgment of your body, of your health, has that ever made you more loving to you or anyone else in the world? Has that ever made you more peaceful? Has that ever made you more joyful? It's pretty much a big old goose egg zero on all of that, isn't it? Yeah. And again, this is the part where our minds get it and we're like, but I get that. It doesn't help, but I'm doing it. How do I stop doing it? Okay. First thing is we allow the mind to be an intellect and a tool that serves us like, I get it. That's never helped me. I'm actually smart enough to quit trying. Because if judgment were going to work, man, I would be a rock star in all these areas by now. I would be a freaking rock star. I would be so perfect if my judgment were making me better. I would actually be perfect by now, right? Wouldn't you be perfect by now? You would. You've done it that much. We've all done it that much. And it's never, ever gotten us where we want to go, has it? We just got to really look at this one, guys, because it's one of the biggest myths. If I just judge myself enough, I'll be better. Bullshit! It's that big red bullshit button. They sell them on Amazon. I always thought it'd be fun to have one of those. Judgment simply produces more judgment. That's the only thing it does. It perpetuates its own existence, pretty much like a parasite. So, do you want to feed the parasite or not? Let's not. Okay, that's one of our options. So we go, okay, I notice that I'm judging myself. And I actually still feel right for judging myself. Why? Because I believe that this is true about me, that I'm not good enough, that I need to be different. That's where judgment justifies itself. But that's actually not true either. Remember, go back to you as the baby. You weren't judging yourself for being a baby. You weren't judging yourself for being hungry. You were being what you were. Nature's another great example. Does the rose judge itself when it's just a bud and go, man, I am the suckiest rose that ever lived. I'm just this tiny little bud. No. It just goes, oh, I'm a bud. It doesn't actually think about it, right? It just bees what it is. Okay, this is our example. This is coming back into the heart of what we are, which is why our judgment of our bodies can work as our guide. It can alert us to when we're living a lie. Judgment is always a lie. Now, are you interested in living the lie or not? Because it's always a lie. And it's never on your side, and it's never, as we just looked at, made you more peaceful, more loving, more joyful to you or to anybody else in the world. Has anyone else's judgment of you ever uplifted you, filled your heart with love, made you feel like radiating love, peace, and joy when they judge you? God, it's amazing, isn't it? And no judgment for judging, because honestly, why would we want to heap more on? It's like I said, it's like here we are, our body's this amazing energetic instrument that we are, and it's like the thing that's looking for the signal, the Wi-Fi and the LT thing that's always out there, and we pick up on the signal of judgment. It goes right down into the body, and we go, yep, I got it, okay, yep, judge this. And instead, we just go, I'm turning the signal off. I'm turning the signal off. I'm turning the signal off. Why? Because I can. Because I am a being of sovereign divine consciousness, and I now see that judgment is optional and not required. I can do this. It will require practice. I will not innately and automatically not judge until I've chosen what's the alternative, right? Okay, so it's not judging. What would be the opposite of that? What's the other thing we get to do? We just get to be, which to me, presence, pure presence, which we started out with, if you remember right at the beginning, with just being present with something in us that we don't like or that's difficult. Pure presence, what we are, what everything is actually unconditional love. It's just here. It has no agenda. It sends nothing away. It doesn't judge anything. Wow. Okay, so right now, this is really interesting. What's being called forward is for me to articulate and demonstrate this just a little bit more for you. So you have a disease. I feel no judgment about that. I know that you're not wrong for having a disease. I know that you're simply perfect, whole, and complete. You have pain that won't go away. I see that. I see that. And I'm present with that. And there is a radiance of love from the infinite divine heart that we all are that greets that pain. I see that you're hard on yourself. I see that you tell your body it's wrong. No judgment about that. Only love. No judgment about that. Love. And would you be willing to soften and simply notice this vibration of presence that is here in our field together? Yeah. That beautiful poem, sometimes a thing needs to be reminded of its loveliness until it flowers again from within of self-blessing. This is my moment to remind you of your loveliness, your perfection, even in the midst of your pain and your feelings of wrongness and your judgment of who and what you are, which actually has nothing to do with what you are. And I'm sorry that it's hurt so much. I'm sorry that it's so hard sometimes to be embodied and to not know what's going on and why things hurt and why we're so mean to ourselves and why others are mean and why we're mean. What's with that? I don't know. I just know that I see it and I'm present with that, and there's nothing but love. Now, it's a different way, isn't it? Nice deep breath. Have you ever turned the gaze of completely unconditional love on your body? And what would that be like? Hey, body, what would it be like for you if I loved you unconditionally? If I was just here with you? The way that I might, this is really interesting, what just came in was the way that I might be present with my sweet furry friend, my pet. We're just there. Don't need the dog to be anything different. Dog doesn't need me to be anything different. We just sit there and love each other. For a moment, and if you're an animal person, this might be a really great way to go. Would you let your body be your beloved animal? Like the one that you just love, just because it's what it is, because it's just a big space of love, and that's all it is. And just allow your body to be that. Whew. Oh, that's really sweet, isn't it? And you know, the thing is, guys, for most of us, if not all, there's never been anyone in our lives that's actually been that for us, with us. There's not been anyone that's just been, you know what? Like, that's literally treated us, the person that we are, or the body, or the whole thing, just as like a beloved, like a beloved animal pet, like that we just, they just are, and we just love everything about them. Isn't that interesting? And yet our bodies very much are just, we're just animals. Amazing, perfect, beautiful animals. Yeah. Let's soften again. So take a nice deep breath into your low belly. Ah, that's interesting. Let's do it again. Bring forward that thing that you don't like about your body or your health condition or the thing that you judge, or the way, for some of us, there's like, it's really interesting. Some people, pretty good with most things about their body. Even those of you showing me that, though, there's still some pieces that you pick on. It's really interesting. And also, maybe you just are interested in embodying your divinity more, your whole being essence, and like, what the heck, why isn't my body on board with that? So any of those things, bring that forward. And we're going to soften. Remember, I talked about one of the first things we do is soften. And this may bring up feelings of what you felt, like the way that you've treated that part of your body. Maybe you've been really mean to a part of your body. Maybe you're constantly picking on a certain part. Or maybe you're really unforgiving with the fact that you have a health challenge. Like, you're just tired of it. You're mad at it. Like, what the heck, body, with you letting me down, being such a crappy body, right? Who hasn't felt that at sometimes? Okay, bring that forward. What about the judgment of, I must be getting something wrong on this spiritual journey if I can't make it show up physically in just a pure light, easy way? Bring all that forward. Just sometimes it's almost like putting it on a little shelf right in front of your forehead. You just set it there. And then we're going to soften again, all right? The softening is one of the most beautiful things we can do because it allows the field of love that we actually are and presence, that just pure presence and awareness, to touch these things. That's what we're doing here. This is, again, the information for the mind and the energy that makes a change. Because as we pointed out, understanding doesn't make the change. Presence does. Okay, here we go. So some more sound to soften. Soften, soften, soften. And feel anything that it brings up. And simply be present with it without any condemnation or wrongness. It's just, oh, here's that. Let's go this way. All right. Right and wrong actually is very painful for the body. When we make our bodies wrong, that hurts. But it's actually equally painful when we make ourselves right. So sometimes I like to say we can either be right, or we can be wrong, or we can be free. We can be right, or we can be wrong, or we can be love. We can be right, or we can be wrong, or we can actually be everything that we are. Whew, that feels good. sitting there right now, you and your amazing body and the divinity of the consciousness that you embody, you are so beautiful. Take a nice deep breath. Wow. Okay. God, there's so many places I want to go with you guys tonight. It's just like, oh, just so many. So let's see what's next. You know, I think I'll just spend a little bit of time with what we all just opened up together. Oh, by the way, this amazing set that I just played, I want to share with you, Tesseract Salt, which is amazing for grounding and for manifestation and also for bringing divinity into form, which is actually what we're just about to talk a little more, because actually that's all that form is divinity. This one is Emerald and Mother of Platinum, and it's great for aligning with the heart center and emotional healing and the wisdom of your heart. And the other one that I played was Selenite. And Selenite is tremendously healing for the physical body. And it's great at removing blocks and disharmony and attracting light to the multiverse source. So, whew, and those are all for sale. So, yeah, baby. Oh, if they speak to you, God, you know, they make it easy is what they do. And actually, that's what the nature of what we really are does. It makes these things easy. That's where I want to go. So we know, and maybe we don't, but we do know that the body and everything physical is over 99.999% space. Like, you know, physicality is a complete illusion. There's nothing real about physicality. I mean, even Einstein said concerning matter, we've had it all wrong because matter doesn't actually exist. Now, here's an interesting thing. This is so fun. When we make something matter, okay, we put a big old meaning on it and it's important and we make it matter, it takes on a solidity and a density in our perception that is in fact really fixed. We are the creators of matter. So, now here's an interesting thing. Looking at your body and the thing about it that you're picking on or that it's difficult for you or this or that, how much does it matter to you? Whoa! Because what it really is isn't matter, it's actually space. Take a breath. Whee! We need this bowl. We need the azestulite for that one. Whee! Okay, so there's that at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody, remember? Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Except we'd have to change it to nothing's really matter. Nothing's really matter in me. Oh, you guys, this is awesome. Thanks for showing up to play. It's really fun. So, when we make something matter, we fix it in physicality, man, I tell you, then it's going to be even more painful. It's a kind of resistance. It's a kind of solidification. Okay? So, one of the ways that we can free up our judgments is to go, well, what if that doesn't matter? Because it only matters if it's a way toward right or wrong or, you know, whatever, proving something. What if it just doesn't matter? Okay. So I have, my body hurts. Why does that matter? Well, maybe it matters because I don't like pain. But does it matter? Maybe the invitation is to be present with my pain. Not to make it matter, not to make it mean anything. Maybe the invitation is for me. Again, a way that our bodies become our master guides. We make something matter, it hurts. And what it's asking for is our presence, which heals everything. Truly, it does. I was shown this once in a deep meditation that one single breath of all the energy of what we truly are can heal anything in an instant. Hey, this is not an invitation to judge yourself if that hasn't happened yet, by the way. It's an invitation to open into the awareness of what we truly are. Wow. Amazing. Really amazing. Yeah. Okay, so your light, your space. You know, you can become matter, you can be wave or particle. That's what you are. That's what we all are. We are tremendous radiance of light, of this energy, of this electromagnetic energy that seems to form itself into visible shapes in matter, which is kind of cool. So that's really fun. All right. Let's talk about stress. Ooh, I don't know. Do we want to? Yeah, we do. Because we want to open up some more of these concepts and let the mind get a little more information and know that my voice and presence is going to continue to offer energies that will be supportive to you. Just through the words, through the speaking. The energy is there. Yeah. So stress. We think of stress, it's because of what's happening. So maybe it's stressful if the water heater breaks and it floods the house. Maybe it's stressful if your child is up all night. Yeah, right? You need sleep. Maybe it's stressful not to have enough money to pay the bills. And do you notice how the way your body shows you the stress? And you can just list them all off, right? So, I mean, we know that sometimes that can turn into diseases. We also know that it causes tension and headaches and acid reflux and sleep deprivation, actually, and all kinds of things. So, and some of you may have heard me unpack this a little bit on a video. The 3 things in consciousness that really contribute to stress, they're all about our response to what's happening. Are we responding with resistance? Are we responding with judgment? And are we responding with control? All of those things hurt in the body. How do I know this? You know, I was spending a good part of my life in one phase resisting about half of it, because I didn't want the pain that I'd had before to happen again. So I figured if I just braced against it and really kept a good watch and didn't want any of the negative stuff to happen, that somehow I could keep it from happening. And that was really painful. And eventually, about a couple years after this sort of traumatic event that had happened, my body just hurt constantly everywhere. And I had a moment, an aha. I was like, oh shit, I'm actually resisting 50% of my life. Everything that I don't like. Okay, so fine, I don't like it. Can I be an allowance of it anyway? Fine, I don't like it that the water heater broke and flooded my house. What does it mean to be an allowance of it? It means to be present without resistance or judgment, and to make choices and to go, well, it's kind of this, well, there's that. So let's do that with something in your body right now. Because right now there's probably some place where you can find some stress that's shown up in your body from something else that we didn't have the, well, there's that kind of just neutral awareness with. It meant something to us. We wanted it different. We wanted a different outcome. We didn't want to feel it. All those things, the resistance, the judgment, the control. So control doesn't exist, but we do it anyway. If control worked, the control freaks would be the happiest people on the planet. So there's another option, which is we go, well, there's that. And let's do it right now with the stress that your body might be showing you somewhere. Okay, here's this. God, this is what this feels like. Here's the thing that I don't want to be happening. Now, this is not only a mental posture. I'm in allowance of this. Allowance doesn't mean we agree with it or that we want to have more of it. It just means we're going to go, well, it's here. I'm going to be fully present with what's here. That's the key. It's your presence. How do we do that? We talk to it. That part in our body, that part of our lives, that pain, that discomfort, that judgment, that thing we wish was different, we go, I'm here. Hi, I see you. I see you. I'm not going anywhere. And get this one, guys. Here's a big one. And I'm not going to actually ask you to be any different. I'm just simply going to be present with you. So when the child has fallen and cut itself and is crying or banged its head and has a big knot on the forehead, we don't ask it to be different. We don't say, well, wait, go away and come back again without the problem. We just be there with them, right? We hold them. We just be present. Okay, this is what we're going to do right now with whatever it is that we don't like or that we're in resistance to that gives us stress, and the stress that shows up in the body. Say, hey body, thanks for showing me that. Thank you for showing me that. Wow, you are showing me my relationship with this part of my life. Thank you. You're amazing. You're like really clear. Wow, you got my attention. And now I'm actually going to give you my full, undivided attention. Maybe it's that pain in your back. Maybe it's that headache. And you're going to say, this may be a tough one. Again, I'm not actually going to ask you to go away. I'm not going to say you have to leave. I'm just going to be here with you. Notice you. and breathe. And then you relax. You just say, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And you don't have to be any different. It may be the first time that this part of your body or this aspect of your body, what's going on with it, has ever heard this from you. You don't actually have to go away or be different. I'm simply going to see you. And you know, not only that, I'm actually going to see everything about you. Yeah. I'm going to notice everything about you. You know, just the way I would a beloved, I'm going to notice everything about you. Yeah. Thank you for showing me my relationship with this part of my life. Thank you. I see you. And maybe move all the way to, and I love you. I'll be love with you. Beautiful. It's very important, that part of not making it go away. Not saying you're not welcome. You know, one of my friends will say, does this have your permission to be here? Whew, and if your answer is no, then we know we've got a ton of resistance. If your answer is no, then we get to be present with resistance, which is also awesome. Just go, oh, I'm just going to notice that I have a lot of resistance. I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. You sing to yourself. I love you. Beautiful. You know, a lot of times when our bodies hurt, we feel like they're against us. What if it's impossible, not possible, to be against yourself? What if the only thing that can actually be happening is us guiding ourselves as benevolently and efficiently as possible into the truth of what we are? Because our infinite being is actually not that concerned with our comfort at all. That's not the measure of, well, here would be the route. We want to make sure it's the most comfortable route. We want to make sure it's the route that has no pain. No, our being wants to get us home into the truth of what we are. That's actually, I believe, why we're here, to wake up to all that we are. To live as pure divine embodiment, which is the only thing our bodies are. We just don't know it, or we don't live in that awareness. What would it be like, hey body, what would it be like for you if I lived in the awareness that you are just pure divine energy? Nothing but. Oh, God, doesn't that feel good? Yeah. That's what all, to me, for me, and hold open this possibility because it's where all the magic is. It's where all the shift can happen. It's just knowing we have a choice. I can look at this as the way my body is failing me, is being wrong. I can look at it as the problem. And how often does looking at anything that way create more expansive joy, love, and peace and freedom? Or I can hold open the possibility that perhaps this is only here to benevolently guide me. And if I did not know that I have that choice, I didn't really have it, did I? But perhaps now we know. And would you be willing to choose it? To drop the armor, which is there to protect us from the pain behind it. And the armor is the wrongness that we put on ourselves. Oh, man, that's a big one. Take a deep breath. We wear our judgment as an armor so that we don't feel actually what is within us. Yeah, I know. Take a deep breath. We wear our rightness as armor. All the things that we make right and all the things that we make wrong about ourselves, that's armor. It's actually defensiveness that keeps us from feeling and also experiencing the truth of what we are. Would you be willing to soften in this moment? Go, I don't know what's behind the armor, but I'm willing to look. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to open up my awareness right now to any questions that you might have, and then you can certainly put them onto the chat. You can put them onto the phone line. Anybody have anything on the phone line you want to ask or say? You beautiful peoples. Whew. Yeah, beautiful. You know, ultimately, right and wrong hurt, and I think we talked about that. So if we make our bodies wrong for what they're having, that is going to hurt more. And that's okay. That's actually not a wrong option. It's just a painful one. And once we begin to separate pain from wrong, that just because something's painful doesn't mean it's wrong, because wrong actually doesn't exist. We just go, oh, wait a second, it doesn't mean it's wrong, it just means it's painful. And painful it is. Okay, well, I can be present with pain. But when we put wrongness on top of pain, when we put more judgment on top of judgment, man, that hurts. So one more tool for you guys. And some of you know this one. It's the I love that about me. So maybe I think my thighs are too fat, and instead you go, God, I love that about me. Maybe I think there's something wrong with me because I have a physical condition I have tried everything on and I can't move it or change it or shift it. And we move to, I love that about me. And at first that tool feels like an as if. I mean, it's an act as if. It's like, I don't actually love that about me. But we just go ahead and say, we're like, well, I've tried hating it. That really didn't help at all. It never got any better. I tried judging it. I tried resisting it. I tried controlling it. I tried making myself wrong. I've tried all that. And if it was that was going to work, man, that would work by now. It's not working. So I'm going to try something else. Just be open to trying something else. Yeah, because you're that amazing. I love that about me. You can try with the things you look at in other people that you don't like. That would be a really good one. I love that about you. And you'd be like, I do not. What if I did? And when I say love, I just mean presence without judgment. Beautiful. All right. Any other questions? I'm going to feel into your questions. Yeah, I know. Some of you are very weary. You're weary from what the journey with your body has been like. And my response for that is to meet you with pure presence and unconditional love. And I'm sorry it's been so difficult. That place in you that's been so hard, where you're so weary of your own either judgment or just experience of what's going on in your body, is so thirsty and ready for tenderness and compassion. Let's begin there, okay? And I'll do that and be that with you. Nothing but love. NBL, nothing but love. All love. All love, all the time. Our station is all love, all the time. And again, by love, I mean pure presence. No judgment, no resistance. Pure presence with allowance and welcoming. Pure presence with allowance and welcoming. Yeah. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Yes, okay. There is more of this. If this is work that interests you, there's a 3-week class coming up, and we'll go deeper into all of this. And it's really like an energetic deep dive, and there's always information that goes with. But what I'm so passionate about and interested in is helping us reroute to actually having a different experience, not just to know some stuff, but to just walk around comfortable in our own skin, loving with ourselves, healing, literally just healing all the things within us that are asking for our loving attention. That's what I'm really interested in, the shift in our consciousness and awareness, which comes through this welcoming and recognition that everything here is here to guide us home. Everything. And I'm always honored to be your guide. And the body one is one I've traveled well because I've been such a fierce inner critic, and I'm not anymore. And I had that diagnosis of fibromyalgia and chronic pain, and I don't anymore. And that's not to say I've gotten it right. I have plenty of other things that I be with. This is one that it's like it's a rock face that I've scaled, and you're a master rock climber, and so am I. And I can tell you where some of the foot and handholds are, and I love doing that with you. Like it's almost like taking a dream interpretation class. You know, you're like, well, the dream just seems really weird until you start to understand the language of your own dreams, and then you realize, my God, not only is it not weird, it's like super laser precise. It's brilliant in the way that it guides me. It's got all this information and all kinds of invitations for me. Our bodies are working the same way. It's just a lot of times we don't know how to interpret what's going on. And do people heal through these times together that we spend in these classes? Absolutely. I have many, many clients who, through either sound transmissions, oh my goodness, yeah, definitely through that, and also through our work together, have had all kinds of physical conditions shift, change, and go away completely. Now, is that a guarantee? Of course not. Is that a possibility? Yeah, you bet it is. But that's not even the main goal, and I'll just be super straight up with that. The main goal is that you have more of you, because as you have more of you, you have more of everything. When I say have more of you, I'm talking about being aware of actually what you truly are. Then you have more health, you have more freedom, you have more joy, you have more ease and love. That's where it all generates. And then the body and the changes in the body just become another extension of that. And that's where the heart really is. So, love you guys. Thank you for being with me. And until the next time, be well. Know that your body is guiding you perfectly. And let's go together to figure out how we might allow it to do just that. All right. Love you. See you next time.